Hey, happy Wednesday. Today I wanted to share with you a few thoughts about personality marketing. And this is interesting because we've kind of had two clients go completely different directions on this. And I wanted to share some of the results that we get for clients. Now, sometimes there's the inclination in aviation, especially to be discreet and to be professional and to be very vague and corporate in your marketing. And what we've found is that doesn't work as effectively as people who put a little bit of personality into their marketing. And I'm going to give you three examples. One is Sherrie Harvey at AeroStar Training Services, and we created a video for Sherrie that just shows so much magnetism and enthusiasm for aviation that it really gets people excited about their flight school.
My name is Sherrie Harvey, and I am the 141 program manager, and I am also a flight instructor and check instructor at AeroStar. Started in aviation, actually in my early 20s, with a guy that I was dating. My boyfriend was a private pilot, and he had an aircraft, and we flew everywhere. Next thing I know, I was handling the radios and comms. I got hooked on it, and I decided to start taking lessons. I got my private pilot's license at a little local flight school. And shortly thereafter, I bought my first plane, little Cherokee 180, and I utilized that for business and continued my training with that aircraft. Fashion accessory business. So I used my airplane to go on buying trips, like to New York City. I lived in upstate New York, and I went to New York City and other areas for doing my purchasing for the goods for my store. Yeah, and it was actually a lot of fun. It was great. Then later on in life, I upgraded and got a Saratoga, which is a great cross-country machine. Did some additional training with that. It was better for business, and then I've always been in aviation. I've always owned aircraft. I still do today. Yeah, I would just like to invite everyone to visit our website with the 141 side, which is becomeapilot.us.
So you can just hear Sherrie's enthusiasm and the way she talks about that Piper Saratoga, and the way she talks about the way that she's used aviation in her life. She is just she shows how much she would be such a perfect mentor and such a perfect flight instructor for the right kind of person. And that's something that you can't get just from reading copy on a website or reading a bio or even seeing a photograph. It's just not the same as seeing a video like this. Another one is Jeremy, JetValues Jeremy. He creates valuations of aircraft, and it's a fairly dry subject, but he makes it so interesting because of his personality and because of the way that he portrays himself. And people will never forget JetValues Jeremy if they've ever done business with him, because of his personality. And it's something that his competitors can't possibly duplicate because it's all him. Now, you can tell that Jeremy is just a pleasure to work with because he has so much fun and he really enjoys his work, and he takes his job very, very seriously, but he takes himself lightly. And that's one of the things that we really enjoy about working with him. And that really comes across in that cartoon. And the third one is Adam Sipe. Adam runs Airplane Intel, the podcast, and then he also runs an MRO and several other businesses in Florida. So now, if you listen to any of Adam's podcasts, you would much rather do business with him than with somebody that you've never met. And, there's something about a podcast where you're actually spending an awful lot of time in somebody's ear. People spend hours listening to podcasts about a topic that they're interested in. And since Adam is so knowledgeable about citations in particular and about the aircraft that he is familiar with, that really comes across, and you can hear that in his voice. You can hear his confidence. You kind of feel like you know somebody after you listen to their voice for some amount of time. So that's really a huge advantage for him and his business. The question, I guess, comes to mind. Everybody's looking for a competitive advantage, right? And you can't always change your pricing, and you can't always change your offer. A lot of cases in aviation, we're kind of regulated in what we can do and what we can't do. But what we can do is be the guy that has the podcast, or be the guy that has the cartoon, or be the lady that is on YouTube. So, if you can put your personality into your marketing, or the personality of your people into marketing, it does three things. First, of course, this is a high trust industry. So people want to know who they're doing business with, and they feel like they know you a little bit if you put yourself out there a little bit. It also shows that you're investing in your company and you really believe in what you do if you're willing to put your face and your voice out there, even if it isn't perfect. People aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for transparency nowadays. It also shows that you invest in your people and you have low turnover. So obviously, AeroStar feels really good about Sherrie representing their brand. And that shows that they have a lot of trust and they've got a great team with really low turnover. And that's exactly what you want in a company that you want to do business with, right? And then the third thing is, because people are so magnetic, enthusiastic, and contagious, they've done some studies about what are the most attractive magazine covers and what are the most attractive advertisements. And they almost always have people's faces on them, and they're not always the most beautiful people's faces on them. People are looking for connection. They're looking for personality. They're looking to get beyond that corporate plastic facade and see who they're really doing business with. And if you're willing to put yourself out there, that really does much, much better in terms of results in marketing. So I'm going to share the video that we created for AeroStar, and I'm also going to share the caricature that we're using with Jeremy, and I'm also going to share a link to Adam's podcast. And hopefully this will give you some inspiration to put yourself out there and to find ways to inject a little bit of personality into your marketing.